What if the real key to endless success wasn't talent or luck, but the capacity to learn faster than anyone else? This audiobook uncovers the powerful principles the top 1% rely on to stay ahead. Master this and you'll never be left behind. The future will always belong to those who never stop learning. Introduction. Picture this. Two individuals begin life at the exact same point. They attend the same schools, earn identical degrees, and secure similar jobs. In the beginning, they appear equally driven and capable. But over time, something shifts. One of them soars, achieving incredible success, breaking financial limits, gaining new abilities, and embracing change. The other remains stuck, holding the same position for years, facing the same struggles, working just as hard, but consistently falling behind. What made the difference? It wasn't intelligence. It wasn't chance. And it wasn't some secret edge. The truth is simple. One continued learning, the other didn't. This is a reality most people choose to ignore. Once you stop learning, you begin to fall behind. The instant you think you've made it and don't need to grow anymore, the world starts to pass you. Knowledge doesn't stay still. It either grows or fades, and those who understand this are the ones shaping their futures. They never fall behind. If you've ever felt stuck, working hard without progress, watching others advance while you don't, it's not because you lack potential. It's because today's world favors those who commit to learning continuously, and it punishes those who don't. Here's the harsh truth. Many people don't even notice they've stopped. They finish school, get a job, and switch to autopilot, believing what they know is enough. But it's not. The world moves fast. Industries evolve quickly. New knowledge emerges daily. If you're not constantly learning, improving, and staying ahead, you're slowly falling behind. And by the time you see it, it may be too late. But there's hope. You don't have to be one of them. By choosing to listen to this audiobook, you're already ahead of most. You've made a choice many never do, to take charge of your own growth. That single choice can completely transform your life's path. Because education isn't something you finish. It's something you live. Learning is a lifelong commitment. Just look at the world's brightest minds, the ones who are always ahead. Their secret? They never stopped learning. The most limiting belief today is thinking education ends with school. That once you're trained for a job, you're done. That you already know enough. But here's the truth. The world doesn't care what you learned years ago. It cares what you can do today. Every field is shifting. Skills once valuable are now outdated. Businesses are automating, outsourcing, and replacing those who won't evolve. The only way to secure lasting success is to constantly upgrade yourself. Deliberately, consistently, and relentlessly. But most people never do. They don't read. They don't build new skills. They don't challenge their own thinking. They assume that past experience will carry them forward, but without growth, experience is just repetition. Meanwhile, the top performers, the 1% who thrive no matter how fast things change, they treat learning like a daily ritual. They know success isn't about what you already know. It's about how quickly you can adapt. That's why they keep winning. The power of learning every day, how 10 minutes can transform your future. Many people believe they need a degree, a diploma, or years of study to stay competitive. But in truth, it's the small, consistent efforts that yield the biggest results. Learning is like compounding interest. The earlier you start and the more regular you are, the more powerful the return. Picture this. One person stops learning after college. They do the same tasks, use the same knowledge, and never stretch beyond their comfort zone. Another person commits just 10 minutes a day to reading, listening to audiobooks, or learning something new. Fast forward 5 years. One of them has grown massively, developed new skills, opened new doors, and embraced new possibilities. The other remains stuck, unsure why nothing changes. That's the impact of daily learning. You don't need hours of study, just a habit. The key is staying consistent. The highest achievers in the world don't rely on motivation. They make learning a non-negotiable part of their routine. Because here's what they've figured out. The best chances in life don't go to the ones who work the hardest. They go to the ones who learn the fastest. What this audiobook will give you, and why it sets you apart from 99% of people. This audiobook isn't just meant to inspire you. It's designed to equip you. It's a system, not just a pep talk. You'll get the real tools and practical steps to become the kind of person who never falls behind, no matter how much the world changes. Every chapter is built to be useful right away. No fluff, no confusion, just clear, proven tactics. By the time you finish, you won't just understand the value of learning for life. You'll know exactly how to build it into your routine for good. The overlooked edge of the world's highest achievers. Still unsure? Just look at the world's top performers. Whether they're entrepreneurs, investors, athletes, or creatives. They all have different talents and backgrounds, but one habit connects them all. They never stopped learning. Elon Musk created success in multiple industries, not because he started as a genius, but because he taught himself what he needed to know. Warren Buffett reads for hours each day because he understands knowledge grows like compound interest. Oprah Winfrey credits her entire journey to her hunger for personal growth. Kobe Bryant was a student of the game, always seeking to improve, even at his peak. If these legends need to keep learning, why would you think you can stop? Now it's your move. Fall behind or stay ahead. You have two choices. Follow the crowd, drifting through life while depending on outdated knowledge and watching others move ahead, or take the path of the top 1% by choosing daily improvement, expanding your thinking, and making sure you're always one step ahead. This audiobook will walk you through how to do exactly that. The only question is, are you ready to take advantage of it? Chapter 1. The mindset behind lifelong learning. Why do some people succeed in nearly every part of life while others remain stuck in place year after year? It's not luck. It's not IQ. It's not even opportunity. The real difference lies in how they approach learning. Most people think learning ends when they get their diploma, as though knowledge comes with an expiration date. They celebrate finishing school like they've reached the finish line. But in reality, that's only the starting point. If your growth stops when formal education ends, you're already slipping behind, and the scary part is you won't even notice until much later. Think about it, change is happening faster than ever. Technology is advancing, industries are transforming, and the skills that mattered yesterday are becoming irrelevant today. If you're not actively upgrading your knowledge, building new capabilities, and pushing your thinking, you're slowly falling into a trap. And that trap gets deeper each day you stay the same. While you're standing still, the world is moving forward, and that's where the top 1% take the lead. They don't fear change, they embrace it. They view learning not as a duty, but as a gift. They see it as a powerful opportunity and, above all, a lifelong mission. This chapter is about changing how you think. It's about shedding the outdated idea that learning is only for school and accepting that real education never ends. The most successful people aren't those who know the most. They're the ones who never stop learning. If you can shift your mindset, you'll instantly set yourself apart from the majority. You'll become adaptable, capable, and always ready for what's next. So now ask yourself, are you ready to leave the crowd behind and think like the top 1%? Let's begin. 1. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset, the choice that shapes everything. What if your entire life, your wins, your setbacks, your future potential, could be traced back to just one factor: how you view ability and intelligence? This isn't just an inspirational idea. It's supported by real research. Psychologist Carol Dweck found that most people fall into one of two mental frameworks: the fixed mindset or the growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that intelligence, talent, and capability are set in stone. People with this view say things like, "I'm just not good at that," or "I've never been a math person." When they fail, they take it as proof that they weren't meant to succeed. They avoid difficult tasks because they're afraid of looking incapable. And by doing that, they trap themselves in the same place year after year. But people with a growth mindset think differently. They treat setbacks as lessons. They see challenges as chances to stretch and improve. They believe that abilities are built through effort and intelligence can grow. Mastery, to them, is the result of persistence. Instead of asking, "Am I good enough?" they ask, "How can I improve?" That simple shift in thinking is what allows them to keep growing while others get stuck. If you want to rise above the 99%, you have to develop a growth mindset, because no other belief system will help you more in the long term. Every time you catch yourself thinking, you have two paths. You can go with the flow, relying on outdated knowledge and watching others move ahead, or you can choose growth, expanding your thinking every day and making sure you never fall behind. This audiobook is here to help you do exactly that. The only question is, are you ready to take control? Chapter 1. The Attitude Behind Lifelong Growth. Why do certain people thrive across many areas of life, while others seem to remain stuck in the same place? It's not luck. It's not intelligence. And it's not just about opportunity. The real reason lies in their mindset toward learning. Many assume learning ends once they earn a degree, as if knowledge has a limit. They treat graduation like the final goal. But in truth, that moment marks the beginning. If you stop growing after school ends, you're already falling behind. And what's worse, you may not even notice it happening. Just think about how fast the world is changing. Technology evolves, industries shift, and yesterday's valuable skills can become irrelevant. If you're not consistently learning, building new strengths, and sharpening your thinking, you're slowly setting yourself back. And the longer you stay in place, the harder it is to catch up. As you stay the same, the world moves forward. That's where top performers gain the edge. They welcome change. They see learning not as a chore, but as a chance. They treat it like a gift and, more importantly, as a lifelong habit. This chapter is about changing your perspective. It's about letting go of the belief that learning ends with school and embracing the idea that real education never stops. The most successful people aren't those who know the most. They're the ones who keep learning every single day. If you can adopt this belief, you'll set yourself apart from most people. You'll be flexible, capable, and always ready for what's next. So ask yourself now, are you ready to stop blending in and start thinking like a top performer? Let's begin. 1. Fixed mindset versus growth mindset. A decision that defines your future. What if everything in your life, your progress, your failures, your potential came down to one key idea? The way you see ability and intelligence. This isn't just motivational talk. It's backed by solid research. Psychologist Carol Dweck found that most people view themselves through one of two mindsets: fixed or growth. Those with a fixed mindset believe things like intelligence, talent, and skill are unchangeable. They say, I'm just not good at this, or math has never been my thing. When they struggle, they take it as a sign they're not cut out for it. They avoid challenges because they fear failure, and this keeps them stuck year after year. Those with a growth mindset have a different outlook. They view mistakes as chances to learn. They see obstacles as opportunities to stretch. They believe that skills develop with effort, and that intelligence isn't fixed, it grows. For them, mastery is about persistence. Instead of asking, am I smart enough? They ask, how can I get better? That change in perspective is exactly what keeps them improving while others fall behind. To stay ahead of the crowd, you must build a growth mindset, because nothing else will prepare you better for long-term success. Whenever you notice yourself thinking, philosophy pulled straight from pages, not platforms. While most people scroll endlessly through social media or binge TV shows, a small group has uncovered a powerful truth that sets them apart. They read. They read more, they read with purpose, and they read to grow. The surprising part? You don't need a degree, a powerful network, or some hidden formula. All it takes is a regular, mindful reading habit, and you'll outpace 99% of people who still believe knowledge only comes from school or high-priced experiences. This chapter will uncover the transformative power of reading, an often overlooked but incredibly effective tool for achieving more in life. But this isn't just about flipping pages for fun. It's about reading with purpose, learning actively, and using what you discover to improve your life in ways you can't yet imagine. If you've ever wondered how top performers stay ahead, how innovators come up with new ideas, or how leaders grow continually, it all begins with reading. And when you make it a priority, you unlock one of the most powerful tools for success. Let's explore why intentional reading is more than important. It's life-changing. When you commit to this habit, you'll separate yourself from the crowd and begin to unlock your full potential. 1. Why the most successful people make time to read. Ever wonder why top achievers like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, or Warren Buffett are always reading? It's not just for fun. It's a major reason they stay sharp and ahead of everyone else. They know something most don't: knowledge is the true path to wealth and impact. Buffett has said that the best investment you can ever make is in yourself, and he spends nearly 80% of his day reading. Gates reads about 50 books a year. Musk famously taught himself rocket science from books. They don't read just for stories. They read to grow, solve problems, and stay ahead. Many people think they're too busy to read. But successful people understand something essential: small habits, done daily, create massive results. It's not about finishing a book every day. It's about making reading a regular part of life. A few pages in the morning, a chapter during a commute, or 20 quiet minutes before bed all add up. Now think about this. What if you could access the greatest thinkers in history without ever stepping into a classroom or spending money on courses? What if the keys to your next breakthrough were already written down in a book? They are. Reading is the shortcut most overlook. 2. Fiction versus nonfiction. What should you choose? Now that we've made the case for why reading matters, let's talk about what to read. The truth? There's no single answer, and that's what makes it powerful. Books serve different purposes depending on your current goals, needs, and interests. Start with nonfiction if you're focused on real-world skills. These books offer practical tools, whether in business, psychology, health, or personal growth. They're designed to teach you how to think better, act smarter, and lead more effectively. Think of them as handbooks for progress. But don't underestimate fiction. Fiction sparks creativity, deepens empathy, and sharpens your understanding of people. Reading stories allows you to step into someone else's experience, to feel, think, and see the world from a new angle. That mental and emotional shift boosts your emotional intelligence in ways nonfiction rarely can. So which is better? The answer: a healthy mix of both. Nonfiction will equip you with tools and insight. Fiction will stretch your imagination and help you understand people. The most well-rounded learners draw from both to stay balanced and versatile. 3. Speed reading and retention. How to read smarter. One of the biggest obstacles to reading more? Time. Let's face it, between work, family, and everything else, it's easy to say, I just don't have time. But the answer isn't to read more, it's to read better. This is where speed reading comes in. Speed reading isn't just about flying through pages. It's about absorbing information faster and more efficiently. It involves techniques like skimming, reading in chunks, and minimizing subvocalization. That little voice that says the words in your head. With practice, you can read faster and retain more in less time. But speed alone isn't the goal. Retention matters. What good is reading 5 books if you forget them all? The aim is to remember what matters. And the best way to do that is to engage with the content. Take notes, highlight insights, explain it to someone else. Teaching something forces you to understand it better and store it longer. Read consistently, apply what you learn, and you'll become not just a faster reader, but a wiser one. For books that actually help you grow, what to look for. So what should you be reading if growth is your goal? There's a world of books out there, but only some will help you truly level up. The key is choosing wisely. Start with personal development. These books lay the foundation for everything else. Titles like Atomic Habits by James Clear, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey are excellent starting points. They teach mindset, habits, and the principles for long-term growth. Next, dig into business and entrepreneurship. Books like The Lean Startup by Eric Ries and The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz provide practical strategies for navigating complex challenges and thinking like a leader. Incredible knowledge for mastering business and life. The right books give you powerful lessons on how to build and manage a thriving business. They guide you through obstacles, help you make tough calls, and keep you locked in on your goals. Don't overlook the value of books that strengthen your emotional intelligence and communication abilities. Titles like How to Win Friends and Influence People and Emotional Intelligence offer skills that improve how you connect with others, understand emotions, and interact with confidence. These are abilities that matter deeply, whether in your career or your personal life. The key is choosing books that challenge how you think, push you beyond your limits, and support your journey toward becoming your best self. Reading with a clear goal in mind can reshape not only your thinking but your entire life. 5. How to build a reading habit that actually sticks. Reading isn't just something to pass the time. It's a way of living. But how do you make it stick as a daily habit? The answer lies in staying consistent. High performers don't read for hours every day. They simply read every day. Whether it's 20 minutes after waking up or 30 minutes before sleep, carving out a regular time to read creates momentum. Start small. Aim for just 10 to 15 minutes a day and build from there as it becomes second nature. Also, make reading something you enjoy. If it feels like a chore, you won't stick with it. Choose books that truly interest you, books that spark your curiosity or align with your current passions. The more engaged you feel, the easier it'll be to keep going. Don't forget to keep track. Create a simple list of what you've read and celebrate your wins, whether that's finishing a single chapter or reaching a bigger milestone. Every bit of progress matters. Reading isn't just another item on your to-do list. It's a lifestyle that leads to growth, clarity, and lasting change. If you want to rise above the crowd, let reading become part of your everyday rhythm. The insights you gain will shape your choices, expand your thinking, and open doors to new opportunities. So next time you catch yourself scrolling aimlessly or flipping through channels, reach for a book instead. The small effort you make today will build the future you want tomorrow. Ready to turn the page? Your future self will thank you. Chapter 3. The Power of Consistency and Small Daily Actions. Have you ever felt like you're working hard, putting in the hours, but still not getting the results you want? Maybe you've made big goals, created a solid plan, and stayed motivated, yet your progress still feels slow. The issue often comes down to one overlooked but powerful idea: consistency. Most people believe success is the result of massive effort, high energy, or bursts of inspiration. But in reality, success is built on small actions, repeated day after day over time. That's the game changer. It's tempting to chase big changes or instant results, especially in a world where social media constantly highlights people's biggest wins. But what you don't see behind those moments are the small, repeated efforts, the quiet discipline that made those wins possible. True, lasting success comes from those little steps you take every day when no one is watching. These moments don't get shared or celebrated, but they matter most. They build habits, sharpen focus, and eventually lead to outcomes bigger than you imagined. This chapter is about realizing just how much power you already have. You don't need some epic breakthrough. You just need a simple, steady process and the discipline to follow through. Once you fully understand and apply this idea, you'll see that the key to success isn't a mystery. It's been right in front of you all along. 1. The truth about overnight success. We've all seen stories of people who seem to rise overnight: the business owner who strikes it big, the athlete who becomes a star, or the influencer who goes viral. It looks like it all happened fast and easily. But what those stories don't show are the hidden years of effort, failure, sacrifice, and most of all, consistency. The reality is, there's no such thing as an overnight success. Every real accomplishment is built over time. Behind every public win is a long series of private decisions and daily effort. We live in a world that rewards quick results and fast recognition. But success doesn't follow that script. Real growth happens slowly. It happens in quiet moments when you're working, learning, and staying committed, even when progress feels invisible. Successful people understand that lasting success takes time, and they've learned to be patient and trust the process. If you're feeling discouraged because progress seems slow, zoom out and look at the big picture. When you're consistently doing the right things, the results will come. It just takes time, discipline, and belief. The value of small habits, why they matter more than big goals. It's natural to focus on big dreams. We all want to reach high and picture ourselves achieving something great. But aiming only at large goals can be overwhelming. They can feel distant and unclear, leaving you unsure of where to begin. This is where small habits step in. Think of them as the foundation for your future success. Daily actions might feel tiny or even pointless at times. You might wonder, does writing 100 words today even make a difference? The answer is yes, absolutely. Small actions build over time. They gain momentum and quietly drive big changes. Doing something small every day sets the stage for major breakthroughs. What matters most is consistency, not how big the action is. The beauty of small habits is they're doable. They don't require a huge burst of energy or a lot of time. They're practical and sustainable. Over weeks and months, those little steps stack up. For example, reading 10 pages a day might not sound like much. But in 30 days, that's 300 pages. In a year, that's over 3,600 pages, multiple books. Now imagine applying this approach to fitness, learning, or personal growth. The difference will be incredible. Small habits aren't about instant wins, they're about steady improvement. The compound effect is very real, and it's quietly working in the background every single day. 3. How to build habits that actually stick. Creating a new habit isn't always easy, but it's simpler than it seems. The secret is to focus on the small moments. The more you repeat an action, the easier it gets. Like learning any new skill, building habits takes effort at the beginning, but it gets better with time. Here's how to start. 1. Start small. Don't try to do everything at once. Pick one small, repeatable action you can do daily. Could be something like reading for 10 minutes or taking a short walk. 2. Choose a consistent time and place. Set a clear time and spot to do your habit. This creates a routine, helping your brain recognize it as something important. 3. Repeat it daily. The more often you perform the habit, the stronger it becomes. Repetition strengthens the brain connections that make the behavior automatic. 4. Track your progress. Use a habit tracker, notebook, or calendar to check off each day you complete your habit. It helps keep you motivated and on course. 5. Be patient. Habits aren't built overnight. Don't chase instant results. Focus on showing up daily. Even if progress seems slow, your consistency matters. 6. Celebrate wins. Give yourself a small reward after completing the habit. It reinforces the action and builds positive momentum. Yes, it might be tough at first, but once you pass the early stage, it gets easier. These small, repeated actions eventually lead to huge transformation. For why relying on willpower isn't the answer. Many people believe that success is all about willpower, the ability to push through and never quit. While willpower can help in tough situations, it's not the best strategy long-term. In fact, relying on it too much can backfire. Here's the truth: willpower runs out. As your day goes on and you make more choices, your mental energy fades. That's when bad habits creep in, when your willpower is at its weakest. So what should you rely on instead? Systems. Top performers use systems, not just self-control, to win. Systems are routines and structures that make the right actions easier to follow, almost automatic. For example, instead of relying on the motivation to work out, build a system. Schedule your workout at the same time daily, pack your bag the night before, and go no matter what. Once it becomes a system, it requires less thought and less willpower. When systems guide your actions, you take the pressure off your willpower, and you perform better, more consistently. The compound effect: how small steps create massive results. The compound effect is a powerful principle. Steady, repeated actions over time lead to extraordinary growth. It's the foundation of self-improvement, and one of the most life-changing ideas you can apply. Take this simple example. If you get just 1% better every day, it might seem like nothing. But over a year, those small gains multiply, leading to a 37x improvement. That's the power of daily effort. It's not about taking giant leaps. It's about showing up every day and making progress, no matter how small. This rule applies to everything: business, fitness, learning, or personal goals. If you focus on gradual improvement, you'll eventually reach levels most people never do. Success doesn't come from sprinting. It comes from walking in the right direction consistently. The habits you create now shape the future you'll live later. If you want to rise above the noise and stand out from the crowd, begin with tiny actions that align with your goals. Stick with it. Trust the process. Build momentum one step at a time. Because real success isn't about one big moment. It's about the quiet power of consistency. Showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, is what sets true progress in motion. Consistency, more than any fleeting burst of motivation, is the real driving force behind lasting achievement. Chapter 4. The hidden power of focus, how to cut through the noise and get results. Have you ever worked hard all day and still felt like you didn't make any real progress? You begin with clear goals, yet distractions pile up, notifications, messages, updates. Before long, hours slip away, and you're left wondering where the time went. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Today's world is built to steal your focus. Apps, social platforms, and alerts are carefully crafted to keep you engaged. Companies spend enormous amounts of money designing these systems to hold your attention. While it may feel like you're in charge, your concentration is constantly under siege. Here's the truth. Without focus, you'll struggle to achieve anything significant. The most successful individuals don't necessarily have the most talent or intelligence. They've simply mastered the skill of paying attention to what matters most. While the majority are distracted, overwhelmed, and chasing endless tasks, high performers move differently. They've realized that sustained, undisturbed focus is a superpower. If you often feel like you're not living up to your potential, like you're capable of more but can't seem to break through, the ideas in this chapter can transform your approach. You'll learn how to control your attention, block out the noise, and finally get meaningful things done. 1. The truth about multitasking, why it's destroying your focus. For years, we've been taught that multitasking is a strength. Resumes highlight it. Managers praise it. People proudly claim they can juggle everything. But science tells a different story. Multitasking isn't helping. It's hurting you. Your brain isn't designed to split focus across tasks. What we call multitasking is actually task switching, flipping back and forth between different activities. And each time you switch, your brain pays a price. Research reveals that constant switching between tasks can slash your productivity by up to 40%. It doesn't just waste time. It lowers your IQ, increases stress levels, and weakens your ability to think clearly. Think back to the last time you were deep into something important, and your phone buzzed. Even if you ignored it, that quick interruption pulled your attention away. On average, it takes 23 minutes to fully regain focus after a distraction. Now imagine this happening dozens of times a day. That's how most people live, always busy, rarely effective. If you want to break free from this cycle and rise to the top 1%, you must train yourself to do one thing at a time. Laser focus on a single task. Give it your full energy. 1 solid hour of deep work will outshine an entire day spent multitasking and bouncing between distractions. 2. The hidden threat, how digital distractions are stealing your time. Your phone is a tool of immense power, but also one of the biggest threats to your productivity. Social media, email alerts, and non-stop notifications are built to hijack your mind. Each time you pause to check your phone, reply to a message, or glance at a pop-up, you lose a piece of your focus. And that loss adds up quickly. Here's a staggering fact. The average person checks their phone more than 150 times a day. That's dozens of interruptions, every hour, every day. Over time, your attention becomes so fragmented that it's nearly impossible to create anything meaningful. And it's not just smartphones. It's the endless browser tabs, the ping of incoming emails, the background noise of always being connected. Every interruption chips away at your mental clarity. If you want to do deep, creative, focused work, the kind that moves your life forward, you need to take control of your digital environment. The distractions aren't going anywhere, but you can choose to rise above them. Background noise from the TV and other sources all add up to breaking your focus. The outcome? You stay busy but don't get much done. By the end of the day, you feel drained mentally but haven't achieved much. The fix? Create an environment free from distractions. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Your phone doesn't need to alert you every time someone likes your photo. Disable all non-essential alerts. Use Do Not Disturb mode when working on important tasks. Put your phone on airplane mode or activate Do Not Disturb. Set specific times to check emails and messages rather than responding throughout the day. Dedicate focused blocks of time to work. Try the Pomodoro technique. Work for 50 minutes, then take a 10-minute break. This method keeps your brain sharp and helps prevent burnout. By managing your digital space, you reclaim hours of lost focus daily, and those hours add up over time to lasting success. 3. The Science of Deep Work, How to Achieve Unstoppable Focus. There's a reason why some people can write best-selling books, build multimillion-dollar businesses, or master tough skills quickly. They have mastered deep work. Deep work means focusing without interruption for a long period. It's when your brain is fully engaged, solving problems, creating, and making breakthroughs. This kind of focus leads to your best work. But deep work doesn't happen by accident. You must train yourself for it. Step 1. Remove distractions before you begin. Find a quiet spot, turn off notifications, and prepare your workspace. Step 2. Develop a focus ritual. High performers have routines that signal their brain it's time to concentrate. Whether that's brewing coffee, playing a certain playlist, or setting a timer. Find your own ritual that tells your brain to work. Step 3. Set a clear goal. Vague goals like, "I'll work on my business," don't work well. Instead, be precise. "I will write the first 1,000 words of my book." Step 4. Time block your work. Give yourself a fixed time to finish a task. Parkinson's law says work expands to fill the time given. So strict limits help keep you efficient. The more you practice deep work, the easier it becomes. Once mastered, you can achieve in a few hours what might take others weeks. The power of saying no, how to protect your focus like a billionaire. One of the most valuable skills you can build is learning to say no. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you say no to something that matters more. Billionaires and top performers guard their time fiercely because it's their most valuable asset. They don't waste it on pointless meetings, unnecessary commitments, or things that don't support their goals. To protect your focus, say no to distractions. Stop mindlessly scrolling social media. Say no to unnecessary meetings. Not every email requires a reply, and not every meeting needs your presence. Say no to toxic people. Negative energy drains your focus and time. Protect your mental space. Your time and focus are limited resources. Use them wisely. The world divides into two kinds of people, the distracted many and the focused few. Most people drift through life reacting to whatever grabs their attention, wondering why they never reach their goals. But a small number, the focused few, break free. If you want to be among the top 1% in your field, if you want to achieve results most people only dream about, mastering focus is not optional, it's necessary. Starting today, commit to reclaiming your focus. Cut out distractions. Say no to what doesn't serve you. Be intentional with your time. Do this and you'll accomplish more in 1 year than most do in a lifetime. Are you ready to enter the world of unstoppable focus? Your success depends on it. Chapter 5. The Secret Weapon of High Achievers, the Art of Self-Discipline. You've probably experienced it. The sudden rush of motivation that makes you want to change everything overnight. Maybe it came after watching an inspiring video, reading a powerful book, or hearing someone's success story. You told yourself, "This time, I'm really going to do it." For a few days or maybe even a couple of weeks, you followed through. You woke up early, hit the gym, started that project, avoided distractions, and felt unstoppable. But then, almost without noticing, one day you woke up feeling a bit tired and told yourself skipping one day wouldn't matter. Then one day became 2, then 3. Soon, you weren't just skipping days, you were back where you started, frustrated and wondering why you always lose your way. This cycle keeps repeating, and each setback makes you doubt yourself more. This is the tough truth about motivation. It's unreliable. Comes and goes, lifting you up one moment and disappearing the next, leaving you stranded. That's why most people don't reach lasting success. They depend on motivation, when what they really need is self-discipline. Discipline is the unseen power behind every high achiever. It's the ability to keep showing up even when you don't feel like it, to follow your plan despite distractions, and to put in the work even when no one's watching. While many wait for motivation's next spark, the most successful have already learned how to keep moving forward, no matter the weather. This chapter will explain why self-discipline is your greatest asset and how to build it, so you can finally break the cycle of setbacks. If you've ever wondered why some people accomplish so much while others struggle for years with little progress, this is the key. The secret isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's the ability to stay disciplined when motivation fades. 1. The myth of motivation, why it often fails. Most believe motivation is the secret to success, that feeling more motivated will finally get them moving. But motivation is a trickster, fleeting, unreliable, and tied to outside factors. One day you may feel inspired and ready, the next tired, overwhelmed, or just not into it. Motivation is like a fire fueled by excitement. It blazes bright at first, then quickly dims if not constantly fed. That's why so many start strong but don't finish. They blame their motivation and hunt for ways to reignite it. Motivational talks, self-help books, success stories, hoping to catch that initial spark again. But no matter how often they try, they hit the same wall. The truth? Success isn't about how motivated you feel any day. It's about what you do when motivation is gone. Self-discipline is the skill of pushing through feelings, the quality that separates doers from dreamers. If you wait for motivation, you'll be stuck. The secret is acting without needing motivation. 2. How self-discipline works, the science. Self-discipline isn't innate, it's built, like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. But like muscles, it weakens without use. At its core, self-discipline means overriding short-term cravings for long-term rewards. Your brain is wired for instant pleasure. It wants now, not later. That's why it's easier to binge TV than work, sleep in rather than exercise, scroll social media instead of reading. Your brain doesn't care about future success, only comfort now. But good news, you can rewire it. Each time you choose discipline over temptation, you strengthen neural pathways that make disciplined choices easier in the future. It's tough at first, but with regular effort, it becomes natural. Start small and increase discipline gradually. Just like you wouldn't bench press 300 pounds on day one, don't expect perfect discipline overnight. It's a skill that grows with practice, and once developed, it makes you unstoppable. 3. The no excuse rule, breaking laziness. Excuses destroy discipline. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," "I'm too tired," or "just this once," you train your brain to accept failure. The most disciplined have one rule: no excuses. They don't debate or negotiate with laziness. They act. To eliminate excuses, build a mindset that's non-negotiable. Don't decide daily whether to act. Make it automatic. If you commit to exercise, you do it every day. If you decide to write daily, you write daily even when uninspired. Excuses mean losing control. A handy trick: don't think, just do. The longer you debate, the more you procrastinate. Remove the choice. If it's scheduled, it gets done. No discussion. 4. The pain of regret versus the pain of discipline. Here's a tough truth. Pain is inevitable. Without discipline, you feel regret. The deep disappointment knowing you could have done better but didn't. You feel it looking back at wasted chances, lost potential, and time that's gone forever. Regret's pain is deep and lasting. Discipline also brings pain, the discomfort of pushing yourself when you'd rather not. But unlike regret, this pain is temporary and leads to growth. Every choice for discipline moves you closer to the life you want. Each tough decision, each moment you resist comfort, each small act of discipline compounds, creating results beyond what you imagined. Ask yourself, which pain will you accept? The temporary effort or the lifelong regret? Self-discipline is more than hard work. It's about crafting a life of freedom. The more disciplined you become, the more control and options you gain. The more you train focus, push through discomfort, and refuse excuses, the more power you'll have over your future. Start now. Stop relying on motivation. Stop making excuses. Stop allowing failure. Become the person who does what's needed, no matter what. Because in the end, success isn't about talent or opportunity. It's about persistence. About those who have the discipline to show up every day and do the work. Chapter 6. The Ultimate Power Move. Mastering consistency to take control of your life. You've done it before. You started something new, whether it was a workout plan, a business idea, or a habit to improve yourself. For the first few days, you were on fire, unstoppable, full of excitement and determination. You promised yourself this time would be different. This time you'd follow through. But then life intervened. Maybe you got busy, maybe results were slow, or maybe your interest faded. And just like that, another goal slipped away. Now, step back and think about all the things you started but never finished. If you had completed even half, where would you be now? How far would you have come? It's a tough question. But here's the hard truth. Consistency is the biggest factor separating those who succeed from those who stay stuck. It's not talent, luck, or intelligence. It's the ability to show up and put in work every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when progress is slow. Most people fail not because they can't, but because they quit too soon. They want instant results, and when those don't appear, they give up. But success isn't about giant leaps in a day. It's about small, steady progress over time. The best part? Once you master consistency, success becomes inevitable. If you've struggled to stick with something long enough to see real results, this chapter will change your perspective. By the end, you'll understand why consistency is your most powerful tool, and how to use it to excel in every part of your life. 1. The hidden power of small repeated actions. Many believe success requires massive effort, working 18-hour days, sacrificing everything, pushing to the limit. But in truth, success comes from small actions done regularly over time. It's not about going all in for a short burst. It's about what you do daily. Imagine two people. One reads for 20 minutes every day, the other doesn't read at all. After one day, the difference is tiny. After a week, still minor. But after a year, one has read dozens of books, while the other hasn't read any. After 5 years, one has gained a vast amount of knowledge. The other remains where they started. The same applies to fitness, business, relationships, and personal growth. The daily choices you make, good or bad, add up and shape your future. Improve by just 1% every day, and after a year you'll be 37 times better. That's the strength of consistency. The problem? Most people lack patience. They want quick results, and if they don't get them, they quit. They don't realize that true breakthroughs come from being consistent long enough for the magic to happen. Shift your focus to long-term consistency instead of short bursts, and you'll stand out from most people who chase quick wins, while you quietly build unstoppable momentum. 2. Why motivation fades and how to beat it. A major reason people struggle with consistency is relying too much on motivation. They start excited but stop when that feeling fades. Here's what you need to know. Motivation is temporary. Discipline and consistency last. You won't always feel motivated. You'll have days when you're tired, frustrated, or bored. If you let feelings decide your actions, you won't reach meaningful goals. The trick is to stop deciding based on how you feel and focus on what needs doing. To escape the motivation trap and keep consistent, commit to a schedule, not a goal. Instead of, I'll work out 3 times a week, say, I work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Making it part of your schedule removes the need to decide each time. Use the 2-day rule. Don't skip 2 days in a row. Missing 1 day is okay, but 2 sets a habit of quitting. Redefine success. Don't focus on big outcomes. Measure success by whether you showed up. If writing a book is your goal, success is writing today, not the number of pages. Stop relying on motivation. Build systems instead, and consistency won't be a problem. 3. How to build habits that last. While most chase quick wins, instant gratification traps them. They want fast money, quick results, and immediate rewards. This leads to short-sighted decisions that undermine their future. They quit when things get tough because they don't see instant success. They jump between ideas without committing long enough to make real progress. They spend on things that feel good now but don't add lasting value. In contrast, the ultra-successful master patience and delayed gratification. They're willing to work for years before seeing big results. They invest in things that grow slowly but multiply over time. They remain patient during slow progress, understanding the power of compound growth. That's why Warren Buffett, one of the richest people, built wealth through long-term investing instead of chasing quick profits. Elite athletes train for years before winning championships. Successful entrepreneurs reinvest earnings instead of spending on flashy items. If you want to stand apart, shift your mindset to long-term thinking. Base every decision on where you want to be 5 or 10 years from now, not just what feels good today. The longer you commit, the bigger your advantage over those who quit early. At the end of the day, success isn't about luck, talent, or intelligence. It's about how you think and operate. The difference between the 1% and everyone else isn't that they were born special. It's that they learned the mental frameworks to dominate. If you start applying these ideas, thinking in terms of leverage, making logical decisions, and playing the long game, your life will change. You'll stop repeating mistakes that keep most people stuck. You'll stop settling for average. You'll start thinking, acting, and succeeding on a whole new level. The question is, will you keep thinking like most people, or will you start thinking like the 1%? The choice is yours. Remember, your mindset shapes your future. Choose wisely. Chapter 8. The Unshakable Confidence Blueprint. How to build a mindset that commands respect and success. What if I told you the only thing standing between you and the life you want isn't intelligence, luck, or talent? It's confidence. Think about it. Every major breakthrough in your life happened because you believed in yourself enough to act. Every missed opportunity, every dream lost, every hesitation came down to one thing: a lack of confidence. Now, have you ever watched someone who seems effortlessly confident, who walks into a room and commands attention, speaks boldly and seems fearless, and wondered how they do it? You might think they were born that way, that confidence is a mysterious gift only some have. But that's not true. Confidence isn't innate, it's built. And the hard truth is, if you don't build it actively, fear, insecurity, and self-doubt will control you. You'll let chances slip by. You'll let others walk over you. You'll settle for less than you deserve, not because you can't achieve more, but because you don't believe you can. The good news? Confidence is a skill. Like a muscle, it can be trained and strengthened. Once you master it, everything changes. You begin to act instead of hesitate. You attract the right people, opportunities, and success. You become unshakable, no longer held back by fear, doubt, or what others think. By the end of this chapter, you'll understand the science behind confidence, what it really is, why most struggle with it, and how to build unbreakable self-belief that transforms every part of your life. This is your key to unlocking your full potential. Ready? I'll never succeed. I don't deserve this. Your mind believes these thoughts. You are literally programming yourself to fail. Confident individuals control their inner voice. They speak to themselves like a best friend, with encouragement, belief, and strength. If confidence has been a struggle, these hidden killers are why. The good news is you can rewire your mind. You can regain control, and that begins right now. 2. The secret to unshakable confidence. Confidence isn't arrogance, pretending, or faking it until you make it. True confidence grows from skill and self-trust. It's a deep knowing that you can handle whatever life brings. Here's the formula. 1. Mastery builds confidence. The quickest way to grow confidence is to become highly skilled. The more competent you become, the more naturally confidence follows. This applies across life, from public speaking and social skills to business, fitness, or relationships. Identify where you want confidence and start building mastery with regular practice. 2. Face your fears. Avoiding fear only makes it stronger. Confident people don't wait for readiness, they act despite fear. If you fear speaking up, do it more. If you dread rejection, put yourself in situations where rejection might happen. Each time you confront fear and survive, your brain learns fear doesn't control you. 3. Own your body language. How you carry yourself affects how confident you feel. Stand tall, hold eye contact, and take up space. Avoid nervous habits like fidgeting or slouching. Research shows powerful body language changes how others see you and how you see yourself. 4. Cultivate a winning inner voice. Confident people speak to themselves like champions. Instead of saying, "I hope I don't fail," they say, "I'll figure it out." Instead of "I'm not good enough," they say, "I am capable and I will prove it." Change your self-talk and confidence will grow. 5. Keep your promises to yourself. Every time you set a goal and don't follow through, you lose self-trust. Confidence builds when you do what you say you will. Commit to waking early, wake early. Promise to hit the gym, go to the gym. When you build a reputation with yourself for follow-through, your confidence becomes rock solid. 3. How to command respect and own any room. Confidence isn't just about how you feel. It's about how you make others feel. People sense whether you believe in yourself. If you don't, neither will they. Here's how to command respect instantly. Speak with conviction. Don't end statements like questions unless you're actually asking something. Own your words. Be comfortable with silence. Strong people let their words breathe. Weak people rush to fill pauses. Stop seeking approval. Once you stop trying to impress, respect naturally follows. Make eye contact. Not creepy, but a confident, I see you, and I'm not afraid. Confidence attracts people, opens doors, and changes how the world responds. Confidence is power. The hard truth? The world doesn't reward insecurity. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? Confidence isn't optional. It's essential. It decides whether you act or stay stuck, seize opportunities or let them pass, live fully or settle. Today, you have a choice. Continue doubting, hesitating, and fearing, or start building confidence that will transform everything. You already have all you need inside. The question is, will you use it? Chapter 9, The Discipline Code, How to Develop Unstoppable Focus and Self-Control Most People Lack. If you're reading this, you've probably set big goals before, starting a business, improving health, gaining financial freedom, or mastering a skill. You began fired up and motivated, but somewhere that fire faded. Distractions crept in, procrastination took over, and weeks or months slipped by with little progress. Sound familiar? You're not alone. This is the trap most fall into. Setting goals, getting excited, then falling back into old habits when motivation fades. Then they wonder why they're stuck. Here's the truth. Success belongs not to the most motivated, but the most disciplined. Discipline is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who just wish for them. The most successful don't rely on fleeting feelings. They act regardless of mood. They don't let distractions win. They've trained themselves to do what must be done, no excuses. This chapter will change how you view discipline. You'll learn why most fail to stay consistent, how to reprogram your brain to crave discipline instead of distractions, and how to build a system that ensures follow-through even when quitting feels easier. Master this and you'll become unstoppable. 1. Why motivation is misleading and keeps you stuck. Most think their problem is discipline, but really it's a motivation addiction. They believe they must feel inspired to act. I'll start working out when I'm ready. I'll work on my business when I'm in the mood. I'll wake early when I have more energy. That's why they never succeed. Motivation is temporary, comes and goes. One day you're ready to conquer the world. The next, you don't want to get out of bed. If your success depends on feeling motivated, failure is certain. The truth. People who achieve greatness don't rely on motivation. They operate on discipline, doing what they said they would, whether they feel like it or not. Think about it. Top athletes don't skip practice because they don't feel like it. Successful entrepreneurs don't stop working on tough days. They show up every day, no matter how they feel, because success comes from consistency, not emotion. If you've been waiting for motivation before acting, you've been playing the wrong game. Success is a habit, not a mood. Habits form through discipline. 2. How to reprogram your brain to crave discipline instead of avoiding it. Most see discipline as painful and avoid it. But what if you could train your brain to desire discipline? Instead of running from hard work, you'd actually seek it out. Become hooked on discipline by training your brain to crave it. Here's how it works. Your brain naturally seeks pleasure and avoids pain. Right now, whenever you procrastinate, skip exercise, or give in to distractions, your brain rewards you with a small dopamine hit. That's why scrolling through social media feels better than working on your goals. But the issue is your brain is rewarding the wrong behaviors. To build unbreakable discipline, you must rewire your brain's reward system. You need to start linking pain to laziness and pleasure to discipline. Here's how. 1. Use the immediate consequence technique. Your brain responds only when consequences feel immediate. Currently, missing a workout might not seem serious. But if missing a session meant paying a friend $100, you'd suddenly want to show up. Create a system where failing to stay disciplined costs you something meaningful. 2. See discomfort as growth. See you in the next part of this audiobook. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our recording, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel so you don't miss any future audiobooks.